Everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. We have an unbox and create today with some new goodies from DK Beauty. There has been some really cool releases lately, so I know some of them are in here and I'm really excited to take a look at them. Accents recently released some glass gel, which I'm super pumped about, and I think it's in here. You know, I've seen like some new fusion collections and some new gel bottle collections, so I'm really excited to see what sort of goodies they sent me. If you haven't watched one of my unboxing creates that is sponsored by DK Beauty, we go through some of the new releases that DK Beauty has, and then I'm going to show you a few tutorials of some ways to use them. And I know glass gels are something that people really enjoy kind of like playing around with, and I'm going to show you some really cool ways to do some different nail art with glass gels, especially for like summer nail art. There's some really cool things that you can do with glass gels. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Quickly unbox everything, and I wanted to talk about two products that I purchased while I was there at DK picking up my package. So we have some really cool releases from Clear Jelly Stamper that have launched over the past few months, and these two just grabbed my attention. So I wanted to make sure to grab them. Now I have seen some adorable nail art done with like cherries. I love the Clear Jelly Stamper came out with like an all cherry plate. This is what it looks like. And then when you check out the actual stamping, I love when they do this, when they've got some that have some outlines and then some that has some like layers with it. You could do some really fun designs with reverse stamping with some of these cherry images. And then like the full images here, super, super cute. And then this one, I thought this plate was so fun. CJS 381, and it's a postage stamp plate. So if you guys have seen some of those like vintage nail art designs that seem to be really popular right now, a lot of them have some really cool stamping on them that makes it like look like stamps, and this plate will do exactly that for you. So you could just use the outline and then just stamp in some designs, or you could do the double layered stamping as well, depending on what sort of look you were going for. But these two plates just really stood out to me, and I knew that I wanted to grab them when I was at DK, so they ordered these in, and they do have these available at DK now. Okay, so the first thing that I pulled out is a Fusion Fortify collection, I'm thinking. I think they're, ooh, pastels! Nice. Okay, so when I was visiting DK in my last video that you guys would have saw, I didn't realize that Fusion had so many Fortify gel polish colors, but these ones are super, super nice. Pink, a purple, a blue, a green, a yellow, and then like a really pretty coral color. This is number 117, a really pretty pink from the collection. It's kind of like a soft pinky coral almost. So number 118 is the blue from the collection. Ooh, this is like the perfect sky blue. That is really pretty. And the formula of these is really nice. It's like a nice kind of buttery formula. Then we've got number 119 here. This is a really pretty green. This is a great spring green. This with that like postage stamping plate. Actually, this whole collection with that plate would actually be really cool. Okay, number 120. This is the purple from the collection. I'm such a sucker for purple, so ooh, this is like literally the perfect light pastel purple. And number 121. This is the yellow from the collection. Ooh, that's a really pretty buttery yellow. I know that like butter yellow nails are like really in right now. This would be a really nice option for that. I was actually contemplating doing my nails like a yellow. I ended up choosing my favorite pink, but if I would have opened this package before I did my nails, I might have picked that yellow color. 122, because I'd be really curious to wear some yellow on my nails. Ooh, okay, this is a really nice coral. It's like a salmon-y type of coral. I have to do the glass collection next. Like, look at this. This is something so completely new from Accents. We haven't seen them do these like gel play in a bottle, I don't think. At least I haven't. And I'm really pumped to see what these are like. So anytime Accents releases some sort of new product, personally, I think it's going to be really good because they are like sticklers for their quality. So let's open this up here. We've got the purple, glass pink, glass lime, glass blue, magnetic clear silver. Okay, perfect. That's the one that we're going to do. Glass red. If you guys would have watched my video when we went to go visit DK, we saw this one in action and it is super sparkly. So we're going to play around with that as well. So this is the glass purple. Ooh, I love this. That is a pretty shade of purple. And this is the glass pink. I was curious to see if this is going to be super, super bright or not. Oh yeah, that is a really nice bright pink. I'm excited for that. And this is the lime. Ooh, that is a pretty color. It's thundering outside. I love working on rainy days. Glass blue. This is one that I'm really excited about because we can do some really fun ocean nails with these. With this color. I'm really excited to show you guys that. And then this is the glass red. So we have 5 glass colors, which is a great start. I'm really hoping that they bring out some other ones too, because like a yellow and an orange and some of those would be really nice to see as well. And then this is the magnetic clear silver. And it is so sparkly. Oh my god, it is so sparkly. That is so pretty.
I did go in and put some of that cat eye gel polish underneath these swatches here, so you can see what it looks like if you were to do like the cat eye gel polish down first and then do the glass gels over top. That's just a fun technique that you can do in combination with glass gels and cat eye. So I wanted to show you what it would look like with those colors.
This is a collection that was released as well. I want to say this was like a spring collection. This is the Studio 13 Daydreams collection. And it is the little minis, which they release these little minis whenever they launch a collection. And once the little minis are sold out, you can't get the minis anymore. You'd have to get the big bottles. However, this is a really great way, like cost-effective way to try out some new collections, bring in new colors, and then depending on what your clients tend to gravitate towards, you could order in the bigger ones. But I really like that Accents does this, and I wish that more companies did this. And I say that quite often and whenever I show you guys Accents products, but I think it is really cool that they do that. So 3 different colors. And this one is called Cumulus. Ooh, I love this. Oh my gosh, we're gonna marble with the glass with this. Yep. That is such a nice soft blue. And this one is called Reverie. This, oh my gosh, it's like a mauve color that's like that really fun milky type of gel polish. So pretty. And then this one is Soleil. And I think this is like a peachy coral. Oh yes. Dang it, I should have waited to do my nails until after I opened these packages. Oh, I would have picked some of those for sure. Okay, so we do have a couple other Accents colors here. So let's take a look at what these ones are. Super nice pink. Yep, I probably would have put this pink on my nails. I do have Peaceful in my collection already, so I'll show you guys what that one looks like. I was actually trying to see if this is what I wanted on my nails today. I need to stir this one a little bit more, but it is a really pretty, like light buttery yellow. And then this one is Dazzle, and I feel like I've eyed this one up before. I've gone into DK. Oh my gosh, that is a pretty cool pink. That is stunning. I would have put this on my nails. I 1000% would have put this on my nails. Should have waited to open up the package or to do my nails until after I open the package. Okay, let's do the 3 IBVs. Now, in one of my last unboxing crate videos, I did share some of these splash gels. I shared 3 of them in that video, so there's another one here. And then we also have 2 of the magnetic gels, which I have heard from Lana at DK in the Lethbridge store that these are really, really, really good quality for cat eyes. So let's take a look at them. The first splash gel, this is called Nebula. Ooh, that is a really nice pink. It's like a medium pinky color. And then for the magnetic gels, we have this one, which is called Galaxy. And it is this dark purple. I bet these are going to be so pigmented too. And then this one is Sunlit. Ooh, that's cool. That's a really cool gold color. So I just finished reading this book series that is like all about gold, and that would have been the perfect color to do your nails for if you were like doing bookish nails for it. It's the Plated Prisoners series, in case anybody's wondering. The 2 gel polishes as well. We've got this really pretty blue one, Daisy Dukes, and it is a cat eye, it says. Ooh, that's cool. I love how it looks like velvet. And then this one, which is Booty. This is going to be an interesting color. I don't think I have anything like this one. A bright orange, like just in your face bright orange. This color would be fantastic for Halloween. This really, really bright orange color. I'm excited for that because it's hard to find a really nice orange, honestly.
We are going to do 3 different nail designs using some of the different products that I shared with you. I decided to do 2 glass gels because I know those can be really fun to work with. So I'm going to start with my Ombre tip primer, and I do this for all of my press-on orders, and this is just kind of like a liquid etch on the nails. So essentially you don't have to go in and like buff the nails. You can just put this on and it will work for your next steps. I was swatching these Fortify gel polishes. I was thinking, I bet those are going to be really good for ombre nail art. So I'm going to show you my technique for ombre nail art. And I feel like this maybe would only work on press-ons, because if I was to do the same technique on clients, I'd get gel all over their skin and it wouldn't be the best idea. But I like to put a little bit of my colors down on a sponge here, and I get these sponges just from the Dollarama. And then I go in and I do different layers, and I'm curing in between every single layer here. It does take a little bit to build up, but this is like the most foolproof way that I've found to do ombre, and I have tried so many different techniques. I do find it depends on the gel polish that you're using though, and because these Fusion Fortify gel polishes have like a runny consistency but are still pretty pigmented, I thought that they would work really well for it, and it did. So I am doing a lot of different coats here, and I don't always go back in and put color down on the sponge in between curing each one, just when I feel like the sponge needs a little bit more to it. Another way that you could do this instead of putting your gel polishes right on the sponge is that you can go in and just paint a little bit of the color down on the nail and just kind of like bring it close to the same colors, and then go in and dab it in with a sponge, and that'll do kind of a similar technique. But again, I have found this to be the most foolproof way to do ombre, especially on press-on nails, and it turned out pretty good here. I am going to do some stamping on the nails, and I decided to go in with this Fusion matte top coat. I love their glittery matte top coats. It just adds such a really fun background to any sort of nail design that you're doing. This one's probably my favorite. So this is what it looks like after it's cured. It's just the perfect background for stamping. Sticking with a similar color palette for the stamp, I'm going to go in with like a really pretty green. Now this doesn't match the green in the collection, so if I was going to do that whole color of collection for a set, I would pick a different green for it, but I just loved the contrast of this mint green with the purple and the pink as the background. I'm going to take the big square or rectangle image here and stamp that down first. Then I'm going to go in with some of my white stamping polish. Now I actually use the white sticky polish for all of my white and the black sticky polish for all of my black, because I find them both to be a little bit more pigmented, and I find that they just stamp a little bit better. So whenever you see me using white and black, it's generally the sticky polish, but I'm going to stamp that down for the outline of the stamp here. There are so many really cute small images that you can put in the center of the stamp. I decided to go with this tulip one, but I was contemplating doing the banana on here because I thought that that color palette would match really nicely too. But I love the size of these little images because I could see myself using these on so many different nail designs. Some of the stamps that you get on like other plates and stuff are not quite this small, so it doesn't work for either clients that have smaller nail beds or if you're wanting to do a bunch of different designs. So even though this plate just has like the stamps and then some of the little centers you can put in it, I can see myself using it for so many different looks. I'm going to do a shiny top coat with this, and you can see that's going to bring the really nice glitters up from the back there too. The next nail design that I'm going to do is an ocean inspired one, and whenever I do ocean nails I tend to use blue glass gels, which is why I was so excited to see this one. So I'm going to go in, paint that down, and then after I've cured it I'm going to go in with some flakes and I'm just going to place them down on the nail here. And I do take my finger and like dab it down, but you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're wearing gloves so that you don't get gel on you. So then I'm going to take that really nice like light blue color from the Accents collection as well as glass gel, and then this pretty white which has like a really nice shimmer to it, and I'm going to take an ombre brush and just kind of swipe the different colors throughout the nail on top of those flakes. That's one thing that I love about glass gels or milky type of gel polishes, is that you can layer different elements underneath and it just looks really, really cool. So sometimes I go in with the ombre brush and sometimes I will go in with the brush just straight from the bottle as well, and I'm just generally trying to marble these type of colors together. And you could stop there, but I love a pop of white whenever I am marbling. I think it just looks really cool. So after I have the colors down and marbled where I want them to be, I'm going to go in and cure it, and then after it's cured I'm going to go in with some more of these flakes and just kind of put them like a little bit off side, so you can see that like there's some that are layered underneath the glass gels and then there are some that are just put on top of it. It gives a really cool effect to it. You want to make sure you're removing the dispersion layer before you go in and do any sort of sticky nail decals. And I had these really nice oceany ones and some pretty shells on them that I thought would look really cool on top of the oceany type of look. Now you can do so many different things on top of here. You could do like waves, or you could do like some different stamps, like mermaid, like the mermaid pattern, whatever that's called, looks really cool on top of a design like this too, just like stamped on. But this is the best part when you go in and top coat and you can see all of those layers kind of popping through. This is one of my absolute favorite things to do with glass gels, and why I reach for them so much is because I love layering and creating unique nail art with them. For the last look, I'm going to create some sort of cherry look. So I'm going to go in with the red glass gel as my base. Then I'm going to take some of that really bright pink dazzle color, and we're going to do a French tip. So I like to kind of outline my French tip with a long striper brush first, and I'm never super picky about this because I know I'm going to clean this up, but I'm just getting like a general arch here, and I love like a deep French, but obviously if that's not what you or your clients like, you don't have to do it this way. So after I get the color down with my striping brush, I'm going to go in with a bottle of the gel polish, like the brush that's in it, and that's where I'm going to fill in the tip on top of it. I just find this tends to work a little bit easier for me, and if there's any like swiping that I need to clean up, I will do that after I get the majority of my color down. Accents has a lot of these really cool leaf gels, and this one in particular, the white gold, is one of my favorites. It kind of looks a little bit silver here as well, and I took way too big of a chunk here, so we're gonna end up having to swipe that off. But I just want to create like a line underneath my French. This is one of my favorite things to do, and it is like so circa 2010. I used to do this all the time when I first started doing nails, but it has stuck with me because I love like a glittery line underneath the French. So I'm just gonna put the silver down, well, the white gold, I'm going to put that down underneath my French, and then I'm going to go in and clean up anything that I don't want on the nails with this really nice brush that works great for it. I prefer to stamp on top of a matte surface because it kind of gets rid of all of these lumps and bumps, especially if you're creating different layers with like the striped line and everything on top of it. So I'm using the Cocoa and Claire matte top coat here. And then for stamping, I'm going to use the cherry plate. I wanted to stamp a white outline for the design, and I have really been loving reverse stamping lately. So that's where you stamp the outline onto the nail and then you go in and fill in the colors. And this is just stamping polish. That's what I'm using here for it. And I personally find that this creates like a really pigmented look to your stamped images, and because it's a new to me technique, I've just been reaching for it quite a bit to do. I'm really liking the effects and the different sort of designs that you can create with it. You can definitely use like more than one color when you're stamping, and it just looks really good, I find. So, and especially because I'm working on top of a red background, I really wanted it to pop. So the next part here, I'm going to go in and add some white polka dots. This is not at all necessary for this look, but I thought it just looked really cute with it. And I'm actually planning on doing like full sets surrounded by at least one or two of these designs. So this cherry one I will definitely do a full set of, and I will be sure to share with you guys on Instagram what the picture ends up looking like, or maybe I'll do it as a separate video. I'm not too sure yet. I do think that glass gels look really cool if you do a matte top coat on top of them, but I did decide to go in with a shiny for this one, and I really like how this design turned out. I'm looking forward to creating a full set surrounded by this because I think you can do some really cool designs with that cherry plate. And this is the 3 different designs that we worked on here. What do you guys think of them? Do you guys tend to reach for glass gels or like those milky gel polishes? I would love to know. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.